Hey, what's up everybody? It's Kellen here from Start Your Systems and welcome to another MXer's ATV Reflex track review. And today we're looking at the 2016 AMA Supercross Round Number 8 Atlanta by HurrenMX. And yes, I know that this track is hella old and several people have played it, etc. I still wanted to do it just because Nationals are out now over, so why not do a Supercross track? And yeah, that's pretty much it. He said, thanks to Darkslides19 for placing objects and splines and several other things. They also use Kid Zoro's bales, so a lot of work went into this track from what I understand of it. And I already played a couple laps on it. Pretty fun. And I'm going to show you guys 15 damn laparoonies on this thing. Because why not do a 250F main event on a 450? Because that makes total sense. So into turn one, and this section you're supposed to go on, off, and then like triple, but I'm just making a mess of it already, because guess what? I'm still not good at reflex. Hey, we figured it out, yay. Didn't see if I could triple that though. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can, so double triple, right turn into the wall, down off the wall and into a whoop section. 180 U-turn and then back across to start straight into the final corner before the finish. Jump the finish line and get through the whoops. I accidentally just pulled in the clutch right there. I'm just doubling that because I'm pretty much suck and cannot triple in yet, but I'll figure it out during this video. Into the sand section, out of the sand section. And that's a lap at Atlanta pretty much already. Very quick track, and lap times actually seem to be pretty similar to the ones that they were running IRL. This race probably was the race that featured the most controversy this season, or the most drama, or whatever you want to call it. For those of you that don't remember too much about the Supercross season at this point, because it's been a while, this is the race that Marvin Musquin led damn near the whole thing until the very last half of a lap, or pretty much a whole lap because it was the section after the finish that said incident happened. It's the rhythm section coming up here in a second. But that whole incident with James Stewart being a lapper in 14th place and Musquin coming up on him, and then all hell broke loose, and yeah. So a lot of drama surrounding that. Red Bull KTM officially came out and said that they didn't feel it was Stewart's fault that Musquin lost the race, but to be honest, they're going to say that anyway because Dungey won the race, so they still look good in the end. This was also the race that you can see Jason Anderson and Cole Seeley wrecking each other's shit. More or less Anderson doing the wrecking, if you will. In this upcoming corner, on the last lap, Anderson destroyed Seeley. And there's GoPros of it from Seeley's point of view, but there's also like a whole episode of, what's that show, Chasing the Dream or whatever, about that situation. Big deal. So this race provided a lot of fireworks, as Atlanta usually does. Atlanta's usually a really good round on the circuit. And this last one that we just had did not disappoint. And I think some of it has to do with the track. I mean, the track was a pretty unique track. It was simple in that pretty much everybody was doing the same lines, but it also had a few sections where if you didn't get it right, then people could make up a lot of time on you, particularly that last rhythm section, as I keep messing it up, and now I've messed up this section too. But that last rhythm section was just a bitch. People were having a really tough time tripling into it, and Musquin coming up short on it. I guess those tough blocks don't have collisions. Musquin coming up short on it when he was trying to not hit Stewart is pretty much what caused him to lose that race, because he came up short and swapped out, and it was a whole deal. I've gone back and forth a few times with whether or not I was going to speak my opinion about that situation, and I will, but my opinion is a little bit changed since it happened. Because when it happened, I thought, holy crap, James Stewart, you were just the worst lapper I think I've ever seen. And in reality, my opinion on that hasn't changed too much. But my opinion on whether or not Stewart had anything to do really with Musquin losing that race has deterred a little bit, because I honestly don't think that he was in Musquin's way all too bad in that particular section. And so Musquin kind of just messed up on his own, probably thinking too much about Stewart being right in front of him. But the reason why I was kind of so upset, and you can see some of my opinions on Twitter about it when it happened, was, I mean, Stewart just shouldn't have even been in that situation to begin with. He had gotten the blue flag in the rhythm section half a lap before that, saw those guys, looked back on the start straight coming to the finish line, knew they were coming, could have easily tucked out of the way and let them go. And I think Vince Freeze was in 15th. He was like 6 seconds behind the Dungey-Musquin battle that was going on. So it wasn't like Stewart was about to lose a position if he let those guys go. And for someone like Stewart, who's been who has lapped thousands probably of people, you would think that him just cruising around in 14th, trying to at least finish a race after he'd just been marred with injury all season, would mean that he'd be a little bit kinder to those guys, knowing how shitty some lappers have been to him in the past. But for some reason, he just didn't move. And like finally when he decided to move was in that rhythm section that Musquin screwed up. He like cut low in the corner, like right about here, and then decided to double in on the left side while Musquin was trying to triple in. It almost caused all three of them to go down, because Musquin cased the triple in, swapped hard left, almost hit Stewart, and Musquin said that he felt like he had it reasonably under control and would have just let the bike flow to the left side of the track. But when he saw Stewart there, he freaked out and like jammed right in the middle of the jump and almost came back and whammed into Dungey. It was a really close call for all three of those guys. And Musquin still ended up second and Dungey won, but there's a lot of falling out over it because Musquin still never won his first Supercross race that year, and it looked like he had a pretty good chance to that night. But again, like, I don't think it was as much of Stewart's fault as a lot of people are kind of leading on to believe. I think it was a Musquin mistake. But I'm still just upset a little bit with Stewart from the point of view is like, if you've lapped 1,000 people in your life and you know how bad some lappers can be, why would you even try to put yourself in that situation to begin with? Just, you know, get out of the way at the start. I mean, those guys were all over him from about the Supercross triple, which I'm coming up to, until the moment that it happened. And there's just no reason, I think, for Stewart to be in the way. But that's just an outsider's point of view. You don't have to agree with it or anything like that. I'm just voicing my opinion. You can be mad at me all you want. It really isn't going to change my view. It's my view, and you can have your own view, and that is totally fine by me. But in regards to the Seeley-Anderson situation, my boss at the company that I work for is a huge Jason Anderson fan because they both like lived/grew up in New Mexico, and he always, you know, gives a lot of credit to Anderson and how far he's come and how his first few seasons in the 250 class were but he's really turned it around and he was a champion and now he's a 450 elite rider and all that stuff, and that's great and everything. But I think at some point Anderson's going to have to realize that his aggressive riding isn't really doing him any good. There's aggressive riding where block passing and leaving somebody in your dust will work, and that's what Carmichael was really good at, where he would just block pass someone and not even give him a chance. Anderson is more or less killing people and taking himself with them. I mean, the crash that he and Seeley had in this corner here took them both down, and it just happened that Anderson got up immediately and still beat Seeley. But I'm just saying that, like, I can't even remember a situation where Carmichael cleaned somebody out so hard that he went down himself. And I know Anderson and Seeley have had beef and yada yada this and all that stuff like that, and I'm not trying to support Seeley and be a Seeley diehard fan here or anything like that, but it was just kind of ridiculous. It was a very aggressive move on Anderson's part, and it just seems so unwarranted, even though they had some contact at the beginning of the race. You know, I don't see any reason for it to be that brutal, even if it's 2 corners before the finish. If you're going to take both you guys down, it's ridiculous. Like, that's the same thing that makes me dislike Vince Freeze, is that it's one thing to just clean somebody out of spite or whatever, It's another thing to do it so badly that you take yourself down at the same time. That's exactly what happened with Freeze and Pike at A1 when they got in that fist fight, or more or less Freeze got pummeled and Pike was throwing punches. But I don't know, just like aggressive racing that both people get taken out is just kind of stupid to me. I thought that Reed's move in Atlanta 2011 was about the dirtiest I've ever seen Reed get, and even that was like nothing compared to the Anderson and Freeze stuff. Like, it really wasn't. And Reed got so much flack for him and Stewart going down in that deal and Villapoto winning the race. But like, if you watch the replay of that, they're both facing the same direction when they go down. Stewart had ample opportunity to back out of it and not get caught up into that. And I think Reed probably would have rode out of it, no problem, but it just so happened that Stewart's momentum was so fast that it just carried him over Reed, and they both went down. And so, like, that situation is probably, like, the cleanest, dirty takeout I've ever seen. But I still don't think it should have happened. But I think that the people that are saying, like, Freeze's stuff is okay, but Reed's isn't, are just hypocrites. Like, that, there's no other way to put it than that's what you are when you voice your opinion like that. But, again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I have mine. You can have yours. Just talking about what happened between Anderson and Seeley and how I think it's a little bit too much. But love to hear from you guys and what your opinion is on that. Obviously, that was a long-ass time ago from when this video came out, but riding this track brings back the memories, so why not talk about it? And yeah, that's the Stu versus Muscan and Anderson versus Seeley situation from this round. And let's see if I can start turning in some good laps. I just nailed this rhythm section over here to my left. Really good, like a lap ago. And got it again. So I'm able to get the triple in. I'm just not able to get that second triple super clean. But I still get it decent enough that I can carry good speed through that corner. And then I try to come in here. And, oh, damn. It almost seems like I could quad that. But I think I'm going to try to step over and then triple, triple, triple. It's basically 4 triples. Oh, damn. This bike that I'm riding, by the way, I talked about it in the video that I did last week. It is a GoPro TLD KTM replica that was made by somebody that I forget. And the TLD GP Air, I think is what it's called, or something like that. And you can download both of those in the description, because I'll have it underneath the track download. And you too can play just like us on this track with this set of gear. The boots and helmet, though, are just standard stuff. I think I'm wearing Garnet boots, a standard TLD helmet, and Oakley goggles or something like that. There it is. Alright, let's see what we can do here on these last few laps. Try to get this triple in a little bit cleaner this time. There it is. Get that. Triple. And triple out. Nice, lovely. And I just fucked that corner up. Damn it. I'm just so bad at corners in this game. And I've had people on the channel try to tell me how to hit corners and stuff like that before, but I just cannot seem to figure it out. Guess I'll just always be bad at this game. Still do a faster lap though, and it is not the white flag. We've got 2 laps to go. Oh, damn. 52.19. I think I've been able to clear that triple in smoothly now, more or less because I've dug out a nice little like rut in that corner. Whoa, that was interesting. There's like a little rut coming out of that corner that like allows me to get a little bit of extra pop on the triple in, so that's probably why I'm able to do it so smoothly. Yeah, second lap in a row getting that rhythm section prime. And this time, of course, I get the triple clean. I feel like I haven't got this triple out clean yet, though. I keep just coming up short on it. It's a little bothersome, if I do say so myself. Oh, getting the swapties. And into the last corner. Now the white flag is in the air. So let's see if I can't run a good lap time here. Damn it. Ah, fucking jump. We'll try to ride this out anyway. This is a bitchin' replica of this track, though, I feel like. All the lines that those guys were taking to do the fast lines on this track pretty much match up to what I'm doing right now, so that's pretty cool. I love when they build the track so that the lines are the same thing, and as I said, the lap times are pretty similar. I think those guys are in the high 40s, which is probably something that a pro rider in this game could do, but again, as you can see, I'm far from pro. Especially because I keep doubling this triple. YOLO. Here, I'll take the inside here to make good use of this section. Beautiful. Well, that'll do it for another episode of Reflex Track Reviews here on Star Systems. If you guys like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit us up with your comments, questions, or concerns, and we'll see you guys on the next Reflex Track Review on Start Your Systems.